Good afternoon, everybody. This is Zach, day 109, and I am going from fat to jacked. Today's upper body day. Got a little bit of snow here in central Michigan today, but nothing really too bad. Just a couple of inches. A lot of it's already melted. We had kind of a warm week, so that's not super surprising. But yeah. So I've been lifting a little bit later in the day than I was. I was originally lifting in the mornings, and I have found a lot of times I have more energy to lift at night. Mornings for me are just, I don't know. Cardio's better in the morning for me, so I may start doing my cardio then. There's a big enough gap between cardio and my weights, I don't think I'll really see any problems. But yeah, so I was originally going to do everybody yesterday, with it being Valentine's Day. It kind of didn't work out. Decided to take a day off. You know, rest days are how you recover and how you grow. You know, that's an important thing, especially if you're pushing for muscle growth. You do need days to rest. So, but so on one of my recent TikTok videos or uploads, I had someone making some comments in there that caused a little bit of, kerfuffle, which is, not a huge deal. I mean, social media is driven by engagement, both positive and negative, so I always like seeing the comments, even if some people have some disagreements. And disagreements aren't the problem. Where it becomes an issue is when we run into misinformation, so this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. Specifically, it was for my lower body workout, and they said that the reason I hadn't lost more weight, the 50-some-odd pounds I've lost since the beginning of November, was because I wasn't doing keto. And that when they did keto, they lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks, and you can't do things when you eat bread, pasta, and yada, yada, yada. So, a couple things. I don't have anything against keto, I would say, is probably the first one. I've done keto. I've done it more than once. And as a matter of fact, keto is the reason I'm not diabetic. Keto is also the reason that I learned to kind of control my sugar intake. I have normal glucose, the A2C measurements. Even at my fat ass, I'm not diabetic at all, which is pretty unusual for somebody my size. Number two, keto does work. Works tremendously well. For those of you who are not familiar with the diet, although really with the health zeitgeist being what it is, I feel like anyone who's watching this channel, the odds that you don't know what keto is are borderline impossible, but we'll explain anyway. The keto diet is short for ketosis, which is a process where your body goes from processing glucose to processing ketones for energy. Ketones are specifically generated when your body is no longer able to use sugar and it's needing to break down body fat stores for energy. In other words, your body goes from processing sugar, aka glycogen, aka carbohydrates. Really everything becomes glycogen in the end, but specifically it's primarily fed by having carbohydrates in your diet. And goes to ketones, which processes fat. It is the closest thing in the weight loss health community to, oh God, do I hate using this term, biohacking? Oh. I know it became a trend with millennials when we were in our 20s, call everything some kind of hack. I'm actually an InfoSec manager in my day job, so seeing everything referred to hacking when that's part of what I'm dealing with in my day job, I do find a little funny regardless. But it's actually probably the closest thing to, actually, I would dare say it is legitimately a biohack, because ketosis goes by another name that you may or may not be familiar with. Actually, you probably should be familiar with. Starvation. The ketosis process is your body's starvation process. It is the process your body goes through when you have not eaten and you have run out of food, and it's time to start pulling from the fat stores to survive. So what keto as a diet is through nutritional control, triggering your body's starvation mechanism to burn body fat. As you can guess, there's you are rapidly going to lose weight doing that, but there's a number of downsides to that. Number one, it's not necessarily great for your body to be in that condition at all times. It does come with some advantages like mental clarity, because so naturally in the wild, if you're starving, it helps to be mentally clear-headed when you need to eat, because you have to think and focus or you may die from starvation. The downside is you don't have a tremendous amount of energy. Ketones are not going to give you the same level of energy that glycogen does. Now, there can be some exceptions for bursts, like a lot of ultramarathoners will do that. Keep the pepperoni stick on you and run 50 miles. That's because your body cannot hold on to glycogen that long. Long-distance runners, marathon runners, a lot of times they have to keep food on them. Because otherwise they will go into ketosis mid-run, because they've completely burned through their body's supply of glycogen. So it's, something that can occur in just regular performance athletics. But the other problem with keto as a diet is a lot of people are familiar with keto as the bacon and butter diet. And that's not necessarily true. You can do keto much healthier than that. But it is primarily burning fat. And unfortunately, when you are not able to eat any sugar, really, most keto diets require you to keep under 50 grams of carbs a day. If not like 20 or 30 to maintain ketosis, because it varies a little person to person. And it also varies depending on how long you've been in ketosis for, how hard it is to come out of it. It's one of those things that it can be difficult to stay in, not just physically, but psychologically, because you're, by very nature, being denied the majority of foods you are used to eating and things you like. And so people, being creatures of both habit and comfort, when they're going through hardship or something difficult, they're going to lean on things they like. Well, a lot of foods that can be eaten as keto food, that's not carb rich, can also in large quantities be really bad for you. It is not healthy to draw your primary carbs from cured meats, nitrate-full lunch meat, tons of cheese, tons of butter. There's a lot of nutritional deficiency there. Now, you can make up for it if you eat vegetables, obviously, and, work on, take supplements, things like that. But a lot of veggies also on keto you can't eat because they are too high in sugar. And it's something you wouldn't expect. So there are, well, quite frankly, there's a lot of limitations with it. And what'll happen is people will just eat crappy food because it lets you stay in ketosis, but eating cheese sticks, pepperoni, and lunch meat all the time, not a good way to stay healthy. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your cholesterol. It's, quite frankly, not good for a lot of things. And so there are cleaner ways to practice keto. There's much healthier ways to do it. And there are, I'm parked so we can get a little bit of light now. There's going to be people that can do both. And, that's great. I'm glad some people can do that a little bit better. Yeah, it's not really helping that much. It's just glaring. But honestly, it's going to be hard for most people to stick to in a healthy way. And I would say another big one actually, is if you are trying to build muscle. Keto is not a good diet for that. You can go to, there's a subreddit called Keto Gains. Go check it out. And you're not going to see a whole lot of progress. It's important to remember ketones are a survival mechanism. They are the byproduct of your body's starvation process. Your body, when it thinks it's starving to death, is not looking to put muscle mass on. As a matter of fact, it will begin devouring muscle tissue if you don't keep enough calories. up while you're doing that. But as far as diverting them to your muscles to grow, that's not happening. Depending on when and how you're doing keto, you can keep your protein up enough, maybe to stave off muscle loss. Although you do generally have to keep your calorie total under 20% for protein, because past a certain point, protein begins to get synthesized as glycogen also, and that will knock you out of ketosis. So just eating chicken, for example, that can actually knock you out of ketosis. You have to eat fatty food on keto, not just meat. The result is you're not really going to put on muscle doing keto. And that kind of ties into the fourth problem, in that being healthy is a lifestyle. It is not, it's not something you do once and then you're just kind of set. If you lose weight doing keto, and that is the only reason you lost weight, you're going to put all of it back on as soon as you get off, because your body is going to, unsurprisingly, go after that glycogen like somebody who is starving in the desert, because your body thinks it was starving in the desert because it hasn't had any glycogen. It's if that is all you've been doing to lose weight, is just eating high fat, the second you stop, you're just going to put all the weight back on. And because of the nutritional deficiencies and a lot of the health concerns that come with the types of food people typically eat when they're doing keto, you can't be on it long term. You can't eat and live like that. And so sustainability is just not going to be there. I know it sounds cliche to say, weight loss and health is a lifestyle, but it is. It is dedicating to this every day, eating right every day, working out every day, getting enough sleep every day, making decisions for, even if it's, macro friendly, the type of food you're putting in your body. These things matter. It all matters. And crash diets, they're not conducive to that. And make no mistake, keto is a crash diet. Anything that makes you lose weight that fast is a crash diet. It's very similar to doing fasting. I've done 4 and 5 day fasts before, and you'll drop a lot of weight. But it's a very hard thing to do and live like that. So there is no substitute for eating healthy, for working out, for getting sleep, and leading a disciplined life. I didn't get to be 478 pounds, which is where I was when I started this, 479 actually, because I ate bread and pizza. I got to be 479 pounds because I didn't move around, I didn't exercise, and I ate like a trash can. That's how you get to be that weight. And you have a psychological dependency on food that you're leaning on to combat either depression or anxiety or frustration or any of the number of things I was doing that shit for. You don't get to be my size because you were healthy and making healthy choices. And putting a Band-Aid on that by just, I'll just eat a high fat and starve myself, technically, instead, you'll drop weight, but it doesn't deal with the issues long term. Because the issues are up here, and they're in here. And that's what you gotta fix. You don't fix that, the rest of this shit matters, dude. You're gonna be hosed in the long run. So, that's what you gotta work on. There's no shortcut. There is no easy answer. There is no, one of my favorite scenes in a movie I saw when I was younger that my kids love, the first Kung Fu Panda movie, the scene where Po opens the scroll and it's just a golden reflection. Yeah, it's you, man. If you want to be changed, If you want to change, you got to be the change. If you want to improve, you have to improve yourself. There is no shortcut. There is no easy way to do this. There is no fast way to do this. If you want it done, it's going to have to be done the hard way. The best thing you can do is get into these habits early when you're young and just never stop. I'm trying to raise my kids to live like this. And it's hard because kids are stubborn and they just want what they want. But I mean, all people are like that. You have to make it. You have to decide this is how you want to live. And it's the only way you're going to get it off and keep it off. Because it might be easy when you guys are younger, like 17, 18, 19, through your mid-20s. You start approaching 30, it slows down. You get past 30, it slows way down. You will eventually start putting weight on. And someday you're going to look in the mirror 80 or 90 pounds heavier than you wanted to be, wondering where your neck and your chin went, and thinking, oh God, what happened? It's coming. That's why you got to stay on top of it. So there are no easy answers, guys. There is no easy button. There is no easy mode. It is dedication. It is work. And it is discipline. And it'll take you far in life. You can discipline yourself for this. If you can maintain the discipline to stay healthy, you can maintain the discipline to accomplish almost anything. But that's why it's hard. And that's why not everyone does it. So, all right. Well, this is holy shit. We're coming up on 17 minutes. I went on a rant. Well, hey, this is my vlog. I'll do whatever the hell I want. So, all right, guys. I am going to hop out here, and I am going to go into the gym, and I am going to get a good upper body workout because that's what I want to do. So, again, y'all, this is Zach. I'm going from fat to jacked, and you guys have a good night.